Hi, we're team number 10, and today we're going to talk about the mega trend analysis for 2030. Okay, so first, what is a megatrend? A megatrend is a major movement, pattern, or trend emerging in the macro environment, an emerging force likely to have a significant impact on the kinds of products consumers will wish to buy in the foreseeable future. Megatrends evidence today include a growing interest in health, leisure, lifestyle, and environmental issues. So, the first example of a megatrend is environmental stresses and resource scarcity. We see that thanks to demographic pressures that the planet's resources such as water, food, energy, and mobility are in crisis. We need creative solutions since the world's population currently consumes 150% of the Earth's annual renewable sources. Extreme weather events carry the potential for big infrastructure damage. Biodiversity is seeing lost threats, and temperatures are rising exponentially. The second example of a megatrend is technology rising. In the near future, technology will grow even more than it has already. It is said AI technology will be smarter, more efficient, and surveilled. However, it can be a source that impacts humans positively and negatively at a certain cost, since massive efficiency and productivity gains come at a price. The pace of its growth will be exponentially, and people will be connected with intelligent life since AI robots will improve people's lifestyle. And the third example of a mega trend is rebalancing of economies and markets. At some point in the next 20 years, the aggregated GDP of the emerging seven markets of China, Brazil, India, Indonesia, Russia, Mexico, and Turkey will overtake that of the established G7. By 2030, Asia Pacific will comprise two-thirds of the world's middle class population and nearly 60% of middle class consumption, up from 28% and 23% respectively in 2010. This will be a boom for almost all brand owners and manufacturers, as today's emerging markets will become the driver of nearly all consumer good categories.
Okay, so what is a macro trend? A macro trend is a pervasive and persistent shift in the direction of some phenomenon on a global level. Examples of current macro trends include urbanization, automation, and changing demographics. At the low end of the scale are fads, widespread but briefly prevalent phenomena, typically lasting a few years or less. Okay, so the first macro trend would be datafication. For worse and for better, business, finance, and government will all become much more data driven. This should enable massive resource and labor productivity gains across industries, particularly in areas such as manufacturing, food production, and logistics. Algorithmic bias could compound the situation by perpetuating and worsening inequalities. Okay, so the second mega trend would be the population growth in Asia and Africa. The populations of these two countries are predicted to continue rising faster than the global average during the 2020s, contributing to an ongoing shift of geopolitical and economic power in the direction of these continents, and perhaps especially the growing number of megacities they contain. And finally, the third macro trend would be automation impacts every industry and country. The spread of automation in every industry, more from manufacturing to finance, will accelerate, driven by the growing maturity of a wide range of technologies such as artificial intelligence, robotics, and 3D printing. All of these have the potential to enable smarter and more sustainable use of resources.
What is a microtrend? A microtrend have a duration on average of 1 to 5 years. For example, initiatives such as to go, inglorious fruits and vegetables and forgotten fruits. These, these signals have something in common. They all offer a solution against but food waste. That's why they together form a microtrend. The first example is fast fashion trends. We know that fast fashion takes a big part of the fashion industry, yet there are many trends that last a few months, and we see that everyone wants to buy them. these trends take part of the social issues we need to take care of because of the damage that the fast fashion industry does to our planet. Knowing that these trends only last a few months or years should help us make better choices when buying them.
The second microtrend would be flexible workforces. A flexible workforce at any business comprises workers who aren't bound by a strict 9 to 5 routine, 5 days a week. Employees who form part of a flexible workforce might be working from your office with your freedom to choose their hours, and they may be working from home part-time or on a temporary basis, or they may be working from home full-time. And 69% of younger generations managers have employees who are allowed to work remotely. Younger generations managers are 28% more likely to utilize these flexible options than baby boomers and believe that 2 out of 5 full-time employees will work remotely within the next 3 years. And finally, the third microtrend would be economic stability. Because of COVID-19, most worldwide economies dropped. This occurred because of uncertainty and less demand, and consumerism occurred. With this, within the near future, people look forward to increase their production and get back economically on track as they were before the pandemic came along. Thank you. These are our sources.